This is the Lego Bonsai Tree, and this is the Clones vs Droids battle pack. How I managed to build this amazing Clone Wars diorama out of these for under 50 bucks after the intro. Let's go! So, while Pick a Brick had longer delivery problems till the summer of last year, I had to get creative in terms of getting the Lego parts I needed. As I identified this set for it, I was impressed by the insane value it provided. Almost 900 parts for just 50 euros, which is just the official price that you can usually get heavily discounted. The only set I could think of which provides a similar good value is the Clone Trooper and Droids battle pack that doesn't give you that many parts but 9 licensed minifigures for 30 bucks, which is also usually heavily discounted, which you will see in a minute. This was leading to a single thought slowly developing in my head. Using these two in an alternative build together that's Star Wars themed and as beautiful as the original bonsai tree. This perfectly combines the licensed figure value with the normal brick value. I tracked these sets for a few months before to get the best price possible, which is especially a point for me today, as I see so often how people buy Lego for the original price or think 15 to 20% less is a great deal. My goal was to get these two together for below 50 euros, which is also Lego's price suggestion for the bonsai tree alone. And did I succeed? Yes, I did. I was able to get the battle pack for just 15 euros, which equals to 50% off, and the bonsai for 30 euros, which adds up to at least respectable 40% off. This also makes up a beautiful price per piece of just 3.4 cents per piece. That's how it always should be. So the full build with figures was just 45 euros, and of course there were about 100 or 200 pieces more that you don't even see here. Now to the build itself. I wanted to build a Clone Wars setting, which was an obvious choice due to figures and scenery. My idea was also to keep the display style of having the full build elevated and displayed like an actual bonsai that some people have at home. In total, it's a bit like a flower pot. The black edge was also necessary to stay elegant and cover the inside. I'm not quite sure which Clone Wars planet this could be, but if you know a fitting one, tell me in the comments. I left the original bonsai tree design untouched and chose the white and pink design to have enough plant pieces for the ground itself. Placing the tree in such an angle and covering it was a huge challenge, especially with limited parts, but it ended up surprisingly well. At this point, I was also so glad that the original set has such a huge brown base, because without that I definitely wouldn't have been able to build a mock base that is that big. Especially the bush designs were out of the tree part that would have normally stayed unused. They are also not massively stable, but as always, this is not the main priority in my alternative builds. So as long as they hold themselves, it's fine for me. And they do. The parts of the battle pack were not the main focus in the build, but they were also pretty necessary. Most of them were used to fill out and stabilize the base, but as you can see, I also used some to build a small rock on the bottom right, and I left the stab build completely untouched as it fits perfectly into such a battle. I actually already had an idea where to put every main part group before even starting the build, which you might have already guessed. The same was the case for the about 200 little tan, green and brown round 1x1 bricks. I'm pretty sure in most alternative builds they would have stayed unused, but I found an efficient use for them as well. By the way, very quick, I'm a growing creator struggling in the big YouTube, so it will be the world to me if you'd leave a like, comment down below or even subscribe. Thank you. I built a small dirt path crossing around the tree, which looks good in my opinion and also covers a big part of basic brown ground. At this point I hugely appreciated that, as I didn't have enough plant pieces to cover the full space without having huge gaps. In the end, I'm pretty sure I made the right compromises at the right points, and I'm actually pretty proud as it turned out beautiful in my opinion and was more work than you can imagine. Even though I was already having the picture of it in my head before even starting, getting this diorama to this point was challenging, as new design problems arose often. This led to the build taking in total about 100 hours, which includes time that I wasn't even recording. I also tried to make something useful out of the 100 or 200 extra pieces, including a shock trooper, but it was pretty hard as there were almost no plates for base left. You can try it out yourself as well, but I think they could be pretty valuable for future mocks as well. So how would you rate this from 1 to 10? And should I also do this with the new 327 Starcraft Battle Pack and together with another botanical set? Which one would fit for that one? Now you can watch how I turned the clone training on Camino into an actual Camino display mock, or why publishing a mock every single week doesn't go as you might think. Thanks for watching, keep building, and bye!